DayZ has a way of getting players talking, and the upcoming Sakhal update is doing just that. The developers recently shared some exciting news. They're adding a fox to the game. Now, you might wonder, what's so special about a fox, especially one without the first name Megan? And well, more than you probably realize. And here I'm going to break it down like it was missing planning permission. If you liked the video, please leave a like or a subscribe. It really helps me out. But without further ado, let's get into the video. Well, I can't switch weapons. Ah, screw it. Don't you ever disrespect me again, bitch. Just a quick heads up, I'm also using a new microphone, new setup and so on and so forth, so any feedback would be really appreciated. Now obviously, if you haven't figured it out already, this isn't really about the fox, but that is where it starts. So the developers explained in their blog how much work went into making this fox. They've basically explained how they wanted to make the game world feel more real. The fox will move around like a real fox, reacting to players and other animals. It even has its own set of sounds, barking and yapping and such, and really cool unique animations that you can actually observe from afar if you see the fox before it sees you. But not everybody is happy about this addition. Some players are genuinely upset, and I haven't seen comments as mean as this since I started my OnlyFans. Based on some of the comments made, they think the developers should fix their problems in the game instead. They said that there are still lots of bugs and glitches that need attention, and argued that the game's core features like base building and driving vehicles needs more work, and that the fox is just a filler. Base building is a big part of DayZ, and yeah, it can feel clunky, and driving cars can be a headache sometimes. And because of that, these are the kinds of issues that some players, especially in my comments, if you want to read more comments, go back to like previous videos on this subject, and they think these things should be a higher priority than adding new animals. However, and this is where the tone slightly shifts, there's another way to look at it. The fox isn't just a fox. Remember, the fox, the rabbit, along with the fish, are accompanying an entire map filled with new features and systems. Adding a fox in addition to this shows that the developers care about the little details that make the game world way more immersive. This is different from the Livonia DLC. Livonia brought a new map and a few animals, but it didn't really impress the players. Well, many of them anyway. It felt like more of the same with small changes here and there. DayZ is a large game comprised of many small parts, and it's those individual parts that make it worth playing. The Livonia DayZ added some new content, but it didn't have the same level of detail and innovation that we're seeing with Sakhal. And the thing the dev team is notorious for is setting the foundation for future updates well in advance. Before we ever had a winter map announced, we had several patches spanning back, impacting and reworking the temperature system. There's also the fact that they reworked how you throw items and how they impact with the world, which was soon accompanied by the grenade launcher systems, which eventually complemented the crossbow's projectiles. It's the things you don't see that you need to focus on with the devs. Game development is a chess game. You have to think several moves ahead. So on the surface, this is just a fox, but this just a fox is impressive for several reasons. The animals currently in DayZ don't really do much. They eat grass, walk a couple of meters and run away from players. But this addition demonstrates an investment in the animals themselves, in the details, in creatures that do more than just wait for a bullet. And there's no way of telling what this could lead to in the future, or the roads this place could lead. As I say, chess game. This Sakhal update seems to be extremely different. The fox is just one example of the cool new things they're adding. For example, there's a new dynamic weather system. Snow is reworked and changes how you see and move around, making survival even tougher, meaning that players will have to adapt to these ever-changing conditions, which adds another layer of challenge and realism to the game. So anybody who thinks this is just going to be an Namalska clone hasn't been paying attention. It's not just about adding new things for the sake of it. It's about making a game world feel alive and unpredictable. The fox has a specific purpose that contributes to the entire setting, and it's a sign the developers are passionate about DayZ. It's not just another update, it's a project they're putting their full focus into. The developers want to create a world that feels alive. The fox is a small part of that, but it shows a bigger effort to make the game world richer and more immersive. It's not just about having a new animal to look at, it's about creating a deeper, more engaging experience for players where every detail, no matter how small, is important. But for way more information, I was actually invited onto a podcast you can watch here where we do a really deep dive into the upcoming update. And as always, until next time.